Can you see me now? Hello, everybody. Hey, Ken. I can't hear myself, so I don't know if this is working. Hopefully it's working. Did you check the headphones, Eric?
I think it's just the level of your headphones.
1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Nope, not at all.
Oh, I can hear you on.
1, 2. Ah, they're unplugged.
Oh.
That old chestnut.
When I left, I must have stepped on the cable.
The old unplug the headphones trick. Hello, everybody. Hello, Anita. Hello, Not Hardly, otherwise known as Jay, Dave, Robert, Ted, Magnus, Jason, Rocco, Spectrum 424, Stephanie, Los Cajones, Alex, how are you? We're going to be talking the next couple of days, aren't we? Alex and I are doing a Skype. We have a pop shield up here, pop screen. Let's see if it does something this time. MIDI Man, Mark, Jazzy, Steve, Ray, Rigoberto, Martia. It's going well. It is it's 10:30 on a rather lovely Tuesday morning. Dark looking room today. Yeah, I think it's I think this is the mood lighting coming in from the side. Yeah, let's turn on some lights in here. There you go. Didn't make a huge amount of difference, but it's all good. Anyway, how are you all? Yo, says Nate. Pablo, hello, mate. JD, Robert. Well, this is all rather lovely to be back here. So what we decided to do today was we're going to try and finish up David's album, which we've been mixing live. And by the way, if you haven't already, please enter the mixing competition. And just a reminder, because even though I know I've said it many, many times, I do realize that, you know, people miss the cues, shall we say. But the mixing competition isn't just a mixing competition. It's a mix, remix, and additional production or reproduction competition. So you can win all those amazing prizes by doing any one of those three things, which means you can download the tracks, you can mix it, you can mix an acoustic guitar vocal, initially one, you can mix the multi-tracks halfway, all of them, any of them, you can remix it, taking just the vocal and do all kinds of crazy stuff to it, or you can reproduce it from scratch, only taking the vocal. There is no rules on this one. So that competition with David's song is going to allow you to do whatever you like. Yeah. So Matt is saying, Mark Beeson, please email him, and we'll find out why you might. I will say, for those of you that are on the email list, if you just see the email come in but you don't click on it, it means the open rate goes down. So you have to click on it and read it, or at least click on it, and then if you don't click on it and you just read the headline like live stream, what will happen is you will stop getting emails. You'll stop getting emails because if you're not opening the emails, we stop sending them. So if you get the emails, please remember to open them, or else you don't get them anymore. So I know a couple of people have been like, oh, I don't get emails anymore. And they weren't reading them. They were just like occasionally clicking on one every now and then eventually it will turn off. And yes, as Necrodog says, if you want to turn David's song into black metal, have at it. You know, that would be great. Do they need it to be uploaded to SoundCloud? Not necessarily SoundCloud, but anything where they play back and you can add them to Rate My Mix. So sign up for Rate My Mix. I can already see people posting there. And what I love about it is there's already people helping each other out. We have a absolutely wonderful... Jorge or George is... talking about Academy stuff here. Matt, would you answer him, please? Feel free to email Matt if you've got any Academy questions. Would be really cool to sort of like have those Academy questions addressed to the Academy. rather than derailing us in the middle of a live stream. But if you feel like you have to do it, Matt is on here. Matt, would you answer People's Academy questions? That would be fantastic. And then I can get back to just concentrating on the live stream. So good. So basically, just to get back to that, getting back to this. So what we decided to do was, like, we have a lot of acoustic vocal and piano vocal tracks here on David's album. It's not all band stuff. So we decided we would just kind of listen to those and make those decisions. So let's check this one out. Here we go. Go back to this. I'm up here. Hey. So this is really, really quite straightforward. What we have is we have a piano track, which is just my mono piano out there. Hello, Alexander. There you go. There's your shout out. There is a piano. I have heard about that plugin. I haven't got to try it yet. I've been, you're very, very kind, Unicorn, but I haven't had a chance to try it. We've been so slammed. I did get emailed about it, and I'm excited to try it. Okay, so, oh, you're welcome. So if you any of you haven't entered the mix competition yet, I'm sure Matt can, I'm sure Matt can put up the link for you. That'd be amazing. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum. So, as you'll see, I'll play the whole song down in a second. It's a mono mic. It's the AEA microphone on my crappy piano in there, which we love. And I call it my crappy piano. I'm proud of my crappy piano. And then there's a vocal comp.
I know it's over. It was over.
And then I have a vocal thickening trick. And those of you that don't know the vocal thickening trick, seriously, go and check it out. And here's the vocal thickening.
I know it's over. It was over from the start.
So what the vocal thickening trick does is it detunes and uptunes. What I mean, it goes like -3 + 3, -6 + 6, -9 + 9, and it creates a chorusing effect, as you were, but it helps push the vocal forward. For instance, I'm going to turn it all the way off and put the vocal in, and let's have a listen. And then I'm going to bring it up ever so slightly. I'm going to keep it in solo for those of you that are, experts in soloing, just because I'm trying to illustrate a point. Obviously, we don't listen to music in solo, but to help everybody hear, this is so they can hear what it's doing. Listen to the vocal coming forward as I bring up the effect.
If just for once we learn to put aside all the bitterness and fight for...
I mean, that is at -20.6, and I already feel it doing its job. I'm going to mute it, and then I'm going to bring it in, and you'll hear what the difference. Here's muted.
If just for once we learn to put aside all the bitterness and fight for every cent of sweet and fleeting light, I can't help but wonder.
I mean, it's a wonderful effect, and that's just a touch of it. And that, to be honest, is all I really, really want to do. So immediately, now with piano vocal stuff like this, we've got to be super sensitive. You all right, Eric?
Yeah, I should be in your computer.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, the solo experts. Okay. Oh, and Unicorn LK says, give them a shout out, please. Hello. Do you mix in mute? So now I'm just going to throw in the piano. So let's just listen to those elements together with the piano. Now, it's really, really important to me that we think about this. We think about when we're mixing. We don't think about, like, the video that's how to mix a kick drum. How there is no how to mix a kick drum. It's like, what's the best way to mix the kick drum for that song? And in this song in particular, and these ones that we're going to be talking about today, it's about listening to the overall feeling of the piano vocal and making decisions as a whole, as opposed to like going, I'm going to mix the piano tutorial number 47 told me how to mix a piano. Who the heck knows how to mix it? What's best for the song? So let's have a listen. Oh, and as Blue Way Dave says, thank you, Blue Way Dave, please hit the like button. That would be absolutely amazing. We're also going to be giving away a course today, 3 chances to win a course, and also we're going to do at the end a free membership, a year's membership to the Academy if you're not already a member of the Academy. And if you are a member of an Academy, we'll give you a free course. Okay, let's have a listen from the top.
I know it's over, it was over from the start, but hope set us on fire, and we fell like lovers do. I'm moving forward, it's hard not glancing back, thinking what could happen if I had a second chance. Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own. This is the last time my heart sings of you, or so I am convinced, until I hear the blues. Would we get it right if just for once we learned to put aside all the bitterness and fight for every cent of sweet and fleeting light? I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own.
Cool. I love the piano playing on this. He did an absolute... Thank you, Steve, for that lovely comment. He did a wonderful job. Now, yes, as everybody's saying, I mean, there's a million different ways of doing this. One thing we could... Honestly, and I want to demonstrate a lot of different approaches. So this is approach number 1. This is one thing you could do, is literally just take a stereo send. We'll go to a random number near the end, bus 7172, and just go make everything send 7172. See if you can guess what I'm going to do. I'll create a stereo input, Coming in, you guessed it, 71, 72. Actually, we don't need it on those. So it's going to be just the piano, and we're going to create a reverb. I'm going to call it reverb all. And see, this is just one approach, for instance. And I think these are things that are important to know. And let's go and get something we'll get something free, which comes with stock. And we'll go to a medium-sized room. Maybe we'll come down to about 2 seconds. And let's just blend it over the whole thing. Have a listen to see what happens. So this is just basically reverb on the whole mix. The whole mix.
I know it's over. It was over from the start. But hope set us on fire. And we fell like lovers do. I'm moving forward. It's hard not glancing back. Thinking what could happen if I had a second chance. Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame.
Now, you see how interesting that is? The reason why I did that to demonstrate is because one of the biggest things and one of the biggest mistakes that I made starting off mixing my music, and that I see constantly still being made by people, and it's got a lot to do with the learning process that we all go through, and also the confusion of 10,000 videos online about how to do stuff, is that what happens is we feel like we have to mix, that we have to do a lot of work. Do you remember anybody? I interviewed Howard Willing about 2 or 3 years ago, and Howard Willing said to me that he gets sent a lot of stuff to mix, and one of the first things he does is just turn off a ton of plugins. How everybody's overworked things, and they do too much work, and it's because they feel like they have to. Like, so, you know, the recording of these things is fairly decent. It's very simplistic. I've got one ribbon mic on a piano. It's an AEA ribbon mic. You can tell it doesn't have that super high end on it. You know, you can hear it's pretty dark, which is characteristic of a ribbon mic. It doesn't sound like a large diaphragm condenser, which has that sparkly top end. And so it sort of already EQs itself. It's already separated itself from the vocal a little bit. That's really, really important. I mean, that's the wonderful thing when you listen to Al Schmidt talk, how, having a handful of different microphones can do so much for you. So having a ribbon mic sticking on a piano puts the piano in its place. Now, obviously, if that hadn't happened, I could have darkened the piano a little bit and let the vocal breathe over the top. Obviously, the Lewitt LCT 440 is a little brighter and airier. Now, David's voice doesn't have a huge amount of stuff. Now, I'm not saying necessarily, Paul, that they mix themselves. I'm saying that listen to the tracks and find out what the best thing to do is, as opposed to like immediately applying a lot of EQ and compression. Now, there is definitely a little bit of dynamics in the vocal, which I love. So I think that this was a good experiment. I think that this is almost a mix like this. And we're going to do 15 different ways of doing this. Well, whether it's 15 or not, I'm just going to say I'm going to illustrate different ways of mixing this song. But this is the first dumb way of mixing the song, which is to keep the vocal as it is and the piano and just feed both of them to a reverb. Let's go to that last pre-chorus and chorus.
Would we get it right if just for once we learned to put aside all the bitterness and fight for every cent of sweet and fleeting light? I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own.
So yes, everybody's making those comments, which I think is fantastic. You know, decide when you listen to something what it needs. Now, I don't want this to be super compressed in your face. I want this to be intimate. Oh, thank you, Sean. As everybody's saying, let's please like and share. Now, we're going to do 3 giveaways. And the first giveaway, we're going to do 3 courses, and at the end, we're going to do a Produce Like a Pro, Produce Like a Pro yearly membership as well. So what? And we're going to give away the camera and web course, which is with the Aquabats. Now, those of you may know the Aquabats. They had a pretty huge hit, and I'm blanking on the name of the song. But anyway, that pretty huge hit is the song you can mix. And the great thing about that Camera and Web 1 and the Aquabats song is it was recorded on 2-inch tape. So what they did is they did a 2-inch tape transfer into a DAW and then mixed it. So it's a great opportunity for those of you that have never mixed something from 2-inch tape. Unicorn LK is asking me who's the favorite producer I ever met. I met Giles Martin a couple of months ago, well, 4 months ago, and I really he was really a very cool guy. I don't know. I feel blessed. I feel like there's some amazing producers I've met. I mean, I've met so many great people. As far as producers are concerned, I would love to meet John Leckie. I think John Leckie is the best living producer, and lots of my friends think the same thing. But there's so many great ones. I mean, I've met and hung out and worked with Jack Douglas. So, I mean, it's a pretty tough question. I mean, Jack Douglas, you know, where do you sort of go from there? I mean, he did Aerosmith Rocks, Aerosmith Toys in the Attic, Double Fantasy, John Lennon. You know, I've been blessed to work with some of the best producers in the world. I worked recently with David Foster. You know, there's been so many. So anyway, let's ask a question. Have any of you? This is so you can get the Aquabats Camera and Web, you know, 2-inch tape transferred to DAW so you can mix it course. It's a really, really great course. What do I want to know? Have you ever recorded live piano? Have you ever recorded live piano? And if you have recorded live piano, oh, it's super rad. Yeah, the song's called Super Rad. Thank you, Mark. You're quicker than anybody who works for me. Thank you ever so much. Have you ever recorded live piano? And if you have recorded live piano, what mic did you? Oh, wonderful. You met Dave, George Martin, says David. If you have recorded live piano, what mic did you use? And hello, Doogie from Scotland. And no is also a good answer. But if you haven't recorded live piano, tell us what you did do. Do you use do you use an Arturia? Do you use the Arturia emulation? Do you use Ivory? What do you use? So if you haven't recorded live piano, what pianos have you used? And if you have, what mic did you use? How did you record it? Would love to know. Darko says they used a pair of stereo Neumann U87s. What's my opinion on MXLs? I've never used MXLs. They came about a little bit after I'd already started, so I didn't get to use them. A 57, that's actually a really, really good, that's a really, really great mic. for piano. I've recorded them out of time all the time. 257s, didn't like them. I've had good results with 57s. 287s and a Coles ribbon. Studio One Grand. Oh yeah, the Arturia is really good. Yeah, the Arturia pianos are fantastic. I have to give them a shout out. We recently got them and we absolutely love them. They're really, really good. Anders says no, not yet. Use the Spitfire 57s, 58s. Keyscape C7, MIDI Grand Instrument, Addictive Keys. Oh, and if you haven't already, please hit that like button. I'd really, really appreciate it. And if you can share it, that's even better still. It lets people know we're online. And it's all rather wonderful. Thank you. There's 313 people watching. That's lovely. Please hit that like button. I see we have 114 likes. Can we get it up to 313? Hit the like button. The 640 TS sounds amazing on piano. You use the MIDI and a Mellotron plugin. Not going for super hi-fi. A 57. C12A, those are wonderful on piano. I've used those many times on piano. As Sean is saying, please like and share. All right. Let's listen to that piano. So honestly, that is just with the reverb. I'm going to turn the reverb off for a second. Have a listen again to the piano. I mean, it sounds really nice. It sounds really good. I mean, in this situation, I don't want to flatten it out too much. You know, I maybe want to add a little bit of low end, but also at the same time, not make sure there isn't too much low. So if I grab like the Waves, for instance, the F6, which is fast becoming, we call it the Lem, because Lem is the one that, Midor is the one that kind of got me into it. So if I just kind of go here and grab, I don't know, like 40 and below and just gently roll it off. It will just clean up the low end. So when it comes to mastering, there isn't a lot of super low end there.
I know.
Solo the piano again. What piano is it? It is a Baldwin Hamilton student model. No, the sling is not up and running yet. Let's not even talk about that. 3 days ago, we were talking about having it set up again, and yeah. Anyway, so if the sling is ever hung up, we could actually show you the piano as well, but Ah, thank you, Eves, for coffee. I really appreciate it. Um, Yeah, just some subtle stuff. I haven't really done very much. I'm just trying to even out some of the low end a little bit and boost it a little bit. I don't want to make it any brighter. And I'm doing less is more. I'm really just sort of focusing on the try not to do too much. Just try and correct a couple of things lightly. Now let's solo the vocal. Yes, he's going to solo it. No, say it ain't so. Is he going to high pass and solo? We're going to have the experts. No, so far, no experts telling me I shouldn't solo. Yay, thank you.
If just for once we learn to put aside all the bitterness and
So there's a little bit of nasalness in there, just a little bit. It's like I'm exaggerating. It's very, very, very slight. So the question is, what tool do we want to use? Let's go to the RTA here. What tool do we want to use to find that? So let's maybe start with this band here, and we can solo it and have a listen.
if just for once we learn to put aside all the bitterness and fight for every cent of sweet and fleeting.
It's usually about the 600 area, which gets a little, you know what I mean?
If just for once we learn to put aside all the bitterness and fight for every cent of sweet and fleeting light, I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own. If just for once we learn to put aside all the bitterness and fight for every cent of sweet and fleeting light, I can't help but wonder,
It was an LCT 440 Pure. That was the mic.
if just for once we learn to put aside all the bitterness.
So I'm taking up an area here at 7K. On the side, it's like I like it. I like to hear it all the time, but then it gets a little bit too much. So
if just for once we learn to put aside all the.
So I'm gonna, even though I'm sort of controlling it with that, I'm also going to grab, just because I can, I'm gonna grab a de-esser. I don't mind using a bunch of plugins doing very little, doing a little tiny bit, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go up to about 7K-ish here.
If just for once we learn to put aside all.
You heard that side there.
Learn to put aside all.
I mean, those S's are pretty dramatic.
Put aside.
I mean, that's the one characteristic of some microphones is, some of the brighter, more modern microphones, especially the less expensive ones, do have a sort of hyped high end. And that's okay. I love this.
Put aside all. Put aside. Put aside all. Put aside all. Put aside all.
I mean, that's pretty controlled. I mean, now you can move into the world where if we want, we could, gain that down. I'm gonna undo everything now. Well, not undo everything, unsolo everything, and put the reverb back on and have a listen.
I know it's over. It was over from the start. But hope set us on fire, and we fell like lovers do. forward, it's hard not glancing back, thinking what could happen if I had a second chance. Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame.
Now, what's interesting is, you know, it is like, here is a great example. You see, we're pulling out about 500. You know, it's getting pulled out here quite dramatically, but it's sort of exaggerating some other stuff. So I'm actually going to put a little bit more high mids in here, believe it or not. There's something glassy around about 2K, which is very modern. If you noticed, a lot of mastering engineers really hype the 2K these days. It makes things feel really forward. Overdone, it's painful, absolutely painful. The contest is not over. We're actually just at the beginning, Brian. So what you can do is, and I'm sure Matt will post it for you now, a link to the competition, but the competition is ongoing and it's not even going to finish for at least 2 weeks after the last video. And I think we're 2 weeks away from the last video. So
I know it's over. It was over from the start.
that to me immediately is working. So I did a little bit more boost, about 7K. I'm doing really subtle things here. And that to me is working. Now, the one thing is like the compression on it. Oh yeah, please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Yeah. There is no date for the submission because we're going to do 2 weeks after the last video. So, and it's probably about 2 weeks out before we do the last video. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I don't want to apply any more compression. I don't want this to feel like it's slamming you in the face. So I'm going to go and grab the vocal. Let's see if I can find it. It's going to be under dynamics. I can never remember. Vocal rider. So I'm going to grab the vocal rider by Waves here, which is essentially what the great engineers like Al Schmidt did. They rode the vocal going to tape. And then when they mixed, they wrote it back into the final mix. But most of the time, like he was saying, when he started, it was live to 2 tracks, so you had to do it. Thank you, DL Banks. I really appreciate it. So let us go in on some of these lower notes, lower volume things, and see if we can grab it. I noticed, I'm sure you did as well, that some of the phrasing was getting a little lost. But just putting a compressor across it was going to destroy... You know, I don't want it to have a spankiness to it. I want it to sound supernatural. So let's mess with this. First of all, I'm going to go here and make its response fast.
I know it's over. It was over from the start. But hope set us on fire. And we fell like lovers do.
I want to reduce the dynamic range just enough, and this is just using your ears. There's no magic setting whatsoever. I'm taking the range control here, and I'm just trying to adjust it so that, yes, it picks up stuff, but doesn't overdo it.
I know it's over. It was over from the start. But hope set us on fire. Fell like lovers do. But hope set us on fire. 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 On fire, on fire. I know it's over, it was over from the start.
We did this whole album using an Audient ID44. This was one of those things, is like the whole idea of this is to use affordable equipment. The AEA is obviously not cheap, but everything else was.
I know it's over, it was over from the start. But hope set us on fire, 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 on fire. I know it's over, it was over from the start.
So, Ulf, what we're doing is we're using reverb on the whole mix. On the whole mix. No, there's no tuning on that. I don't know. I don't hear any tuning on it.
I know it's over, it was over from the start.
Yeah, it's a good point, Silverback. Is anybody going to rate my mix and checking out the mixes? I've seen some wonderful discussion going there. If you can, go and check out everybody else's mixes and comment. I mean, this is all about community and helping each other. There's no experts here. Well, not today so far. We haven't any experts yet. We've all been very, very kind with each other.
I know it's
David did play the piano.
I know it's over, it was over from the start. But hope set us on fire, and we fell like lovers do.
It's a 2-second decay, and it's on everything. We just basically put it on the piano and the vocal, because what we're trying to do is the less is more approach here.
I know it's over, it was over from the start. But hope set us on fire, and we fell like lovers do.
So I just bypassed it there. And it's like there's a part of that fire that's killing me, but there's also an overall lack of warmth with something that's going on here. So I'm not afraid to like solo, unbypass, bypass, realize that sometimes when you're too obsessed with something, you overdo it.
I know it's over, it was over from the start. But hope set us on fire, and we fell like lovers do. I'm moving forward, it's hard not glancing back, thinking what could happen if I had a second chance. Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame.
Okay, so I feel like I feel like I'm sort of like digging less is more. There's a part of me that thinks keep the de-esser on, take the vocal rider off, bring the reverb down, and this is why we're experimenting. Okay, and have a listen now. It is in mono. Everything is in mono. It's down the center. There's no stereo going on this at all. And I don't want to. I don't want to create artificial stereo. So now the reverb is basically off. It's really, really super low. The only thing on the vocal is a de-esser.
I know it's over. It was over from the start.
I'm going to creep in the reverb a little bit.
I know it's over. It was over from the start. But hope set us on fire, and we fell like lovers do. I'm moving forward. It's hard not glancing back, thinking what could happen.
I have tried the ways for de-essing. Yeah. I'm just like, you can probably tell, I am messing around to find what is the least I can do to make this sound great. I want to do the least I possibly can, and sometimes it's just letting things be.
Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame.
David wrote this song, David sang this song, and David's playing the piano. It's like the David week.
Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious.
It was an LCT 440 Pure, Lewitt microphone on the vocal.
Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all.
Just one mic. Everything's... one more time. It's in mono. One mic on the piano is an AEA ribbon and a Lewitt LCT. It's the 440 Pure, and that is all we're listening to.
Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious.
I only check my mixes in mono to make sure. If I'm hearing any phase issues, I will always check it. Okay, so the question is like, what's the least amount we can do? One of the things I like about that comes free, oh, and by the way, I'll do another giveaway in a moment. One of the things that comes free with Pro Tools as a DAW is just the good old-fashioned bomb factory. It's the cheapest, freest, most basic 1176 looking compressor. Whether it sounds like an 1176 or not, who the heck knows? Definitely doesn't have the crunch of mine, but it's simple. And so I'm just gonna, this is default setting.
And see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad.
Cool. So I'm getting rid of a lot of these fancy things that we did, because I don't think the fancy things are really kind of helping us. I'm putting the de-esser on the front there. I've got the 1176 on the end. Now, a lot of you noticed from the last one we did is that sometimes just getting rid of low end can make a huge difference. So I'm gonna demonstrate that again by picking up one of the most basic EQs, and I don't remember what that's called here. You know what? I'm going to get an old favorite. Okay, so here's the EQ3. This is a one band comes free thing. Clay says, how about wet piano, dry vocal? Yeah, we could try that in a second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this little button here so you can see it. You can't. And then I'm going to take my 1176. And we're going to go to a section where it's compressing heavily. So we'll say, oops, let's say here.
And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good.
So we're going to get, so that's, now you can see and you can hear, I hope, that a lot of the issues are in that mids, in those, and we were messing around with another EQ, but I like the idea of being dumb and using the dumbest EQ selection possible. And I am going to try Clay's idea in a minute. So let's just, we'll stay out of solo for a second.
And see the good I tell myself at night. And see.
And I'm not going to use a fancy plug-in that shows us all the frequencies. I'm going to do this by ear.
And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night.
So you see quite a, now I still want to go and do this like 2K-ish kind of glassiness we were talking about. So just a little time.
And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell my.
One of my fears is when you take a vocalist, and this is, did I ever tell you all about the story of hearing Bohemian Rhapsody in 5/1, the 5/1 mix? I heard it in the 5/1 mix, and I was really thinking I was going to cry my eyes out for the first time ever hearing it. That being the first rock and roll song I ever heard, and I didn't. The mix on the 5/1, and I love everything Queen, as I'm sure you know, is they took out a lot of his, you know, his like Galileo, his like toughness out of his voice and softened it and made it breathier. And this is something we have to be very, very aware of. It's like just making everything flat and perfect isn't necessarily good. We're just trying to like soften some stuff. So I'm doing a lot of less is more here. So I'm taking out a little bit of that 4/500, and as you can see, I'm backing it off. So I'm only taking 1.3 dB out.
And see the good I tell myself at night. And see the good I tell myself at night.
Now, I think the best way to deal with these S's, quite frankly, is going to be to actually get in there and gain them down. But let's have a listen.
I know it's over, it was over from the start. But hope set us on fire, and we fell like lovers do. I'm moving forward, it's hard not glancing back, thinking what could happen if I had a second chance. Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good I tell myself at night. There's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. yeah, what a shame.
Cool. So I'm digging. As you can tell, we're not doing diddly damn squat. We're doing so little, it's ridiculous. I'm actually going to boost some high end quite dramatically, but then I'm going to take a de-esser. So now somebody's asking me about de-essing. I do both. I'll de-ess initially on the vocal, and then I'll add it after an EQ to control it. I like the twangy piano, old school funk and soul. I like it a lot.
I know it's over, it was over from the start, but hope set us on fire, and we fell like lovers do. I'm moving forward, it's hard not glancing back, thinking what could happen if I had a second chance. Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night.
I'm putting a gentle amount of compression, again, using the free, comes with Pro Tools.
Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night, there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own. Can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own. This is the last time my heart sings of you, or so I am convinced, until
I think I would de-ess. I would actually automate the S's as well. So I'm messing around a little bit here. I'm trying to find that balance where it's real and I'm not going in here and like definitely kind of messing with it and making it more I don't want to ruin what's good about it. I want to tame stuff. So sometimes there's a lot more listening than there is anything else. It's like if any of you ever painted, they say look more than you paint. It's the same thing with listening. When you're painting, you look at your subject and then you make brush strokes. You don't paint, and then look. You have to look and now it takes a long time to think that way, but this is the same thing here. So you'll see that I'm doing not a lot, but listening a lot because I'm trying to really make this do less stuff. You know what I mean?
would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night, there's...
Yeah, the Lewitt's a great mic. It really did a wonderful job. Okay, so we're still our second giveaway. This is for the Cameron Webb Aquabats course, which was done originally on 2-inch tape. It was a big hit. I believe it was called Super Bad. Is that correct? Apparently Eric is now saying yes. So Super Bad.
Rad.
Sorry?
Rad.
Super Rad. Super Rad, not Super Bad. So Super Rad. It was apparently was a big hit. Dum-dee-dum-dum-dum. I would love to be able to know some information, because we're only doing piano vocal here, and we're doing a less is more and more listening. We talked about have you ever recorded a live piano, and if you have, what did you use? Will the song be on the radio? Asked Michael. Who knows if it ever gets released as a single? I don't know. I think it's kind of a less is more. I do think somebody mentioned strings. This could be a great version for strings. So I think. What is your vocal mic? I think we've asked this before, but what is your main vocal mic? Because we are talking very, very nicely about the Lewitt LCT 440 Pure. We do love this mic, and it obviously did amazing work on here. You know, even though there's a decent amount of plugins, bear in mind it was a gentle amount of de-essing initially. Then I did some high passing, and then I did a little cut and a little boost at high mids and high end, but a little cut on the low mids. We're trying not to do much on this at all. And then another bit of de-essing at about 7K, and then some gentle compression. We've done really very little, even though it looks like a lot of plugins, nothing major, because it's just two elements. You've got to be really careful here with two elements that you don't completely destroy what's natural about it. And please, as Sean is saying, please hit that like button. And remember, this is to win a free course. And in about half an hour, 20 minutes, you can also win a free course and a membership of the Produce Like a Pro Academy. Okay.
Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own. This is the last time my heart sings of you, or so I am convinced, until I hear the blues. Would we get it right if just for once we learned to put aside all the bitterness and fight for every cent of sweet and fleeting light? I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined.
Okay. So a couple of things. It's getting, the darkness on the piano is nice, but it's getting a little old. I'm just going to grab a really, really generic EQ. Because this is the thing. It was recorded with a ribbon mic, which is a beautiful ribbon mic in AEA. And the great thing about that mic is that it doesn't have the extended top end, but the top end it does have is smooth as silk. So I'm just going to, without going into solo so I don't upset the experts, I'm going to do a little sort of 7K gentle boost.
Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious.
He went into solo.
No way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known.
So I'm going to do the earlier suggestion by Clay. So I'm going to turn up the reverb, but turn it down a little bit on the vocals. So we're bringing the vocal reverb down here, about 10 dB, and I'm going to turn the overall verb up so that there's more on the piano.
Would we get it right? Find a way.
Too much of an imbalance. So I'm going to bring up the vocal reverb a bit more. I'm going to split the difference and go 5 dB down.
Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away.
It is, Adam. It's my old beaten up Baldwin Hamilton piano, and we're sort of doing a less is more. We're having a wonderful discussion here about, you know, doing subtle things, not overdoing, fixing, and just trying to do things just to make it a little bit more beautiful without doing too much. So I think what we could do is do some fun things. I'm actually going to readdress. I like the piano and reverb, and piano and the vocal having pretty even reverb.
Would we get it right?
It's not one of the multi-tracks yet, but why don't we put it up in the Academy, Eric? Eric says yes. So this is going to go up in the Academy. So any of you that are Academy members, you can have this song. It might be nice to hear if any of you can do like a string arrangement to it or something like that. I think that would be fantastic. Our clocks have changed. Yes, Philip. It is now 11:38. We have 22 minutes left. It did actually change. So we're going to put this up in the Academy for all the Academy members here. And of course, the last giveaway we're going to do in about 10 or 15 minutes time is going to be, it is going to give away a year's Academy membership. So please don't forget to hang out for that. Now, those of you, there's 300 plus people watching, could you please hit the like button? It feels so wonderful to have lots of likes.
Would we get it right? Find.
Okay, so I like where we're at. I also liked, quite frankly, where we started. This is what's so good about this. We haven't done much. We haven't done much. Can you talk about the difference between ducking reverb versus pre-delay? Okay, interesting. So I am going to sort of talk about that because what we're going to do is we're going to mess around and have some fun. So what I want to do in our last 15, 20 minutes is create some stupidness, some silliness. So let's create a stereo piano effects, and I'm just going to call it piano FX. That's it. So we'll do some really, really silly things. Let's go 1 and 2. And we're going to do some really insane things. Why don't we go and pick up one of our favorites? And what's one of our favorites? Yes, you guessed it. And no, they've never sponsored us. In fact, I've only spoken and said hello to them once, but they're really great people. Let's go and grab the crystallizer. The crystallizer default is one of the absolutely silliest, craziest things ever. I'm actually going to keep the mix less than 100%. Why is that? Because I'm going to put a reverb after it. So we're going to use this as a blend control. So before I even start up the crystallizer, this is going to seem silly. I'm going to grab, let's do something like, let's grab an Abbey Road chamber. Let's throw some money at this. Why not? We're throwing it. This is not cheap, but it is fun. So I'm actually going to take the crystallizer and I'm going to put it on completely dry. So the crystallizer is not actually doing anything yet. And we're just going to get a really expensive plugin. Hey, why not? I mean, that is so crazily bad that it's fantastic. So on 100% reverb, 100% wet. This is a default. You can have different speakers in there facing the wall. This is the chamber. You got a mirror. You got stone. I don't know. Let's try some. This is the chamber. I like what the chamber's doing. It's enhancing the natural kind of effect of the piano. It's great. I love the fact that it's KM53s, one of the greatest mics ever. Position classic. I mean, the default on this is really good. Now, it's really messing things up. So now let's introduce the crystallizer lightly. I like how messed up this is. Bear with me. You probably think I'm absolutely crazy, but bear with me. Somebody says you need footsteps of people walking down the thing. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, now before the crystallizer, I'm decided I'm going to grab... bear with me. Yep, a Sans amp. Okay, this is completely and utterly over the top, but it's really, really awesome. It's really fantastic. So what am I going to do now? Now I'm going to turn it down and bring it in and just see what it does against the vocal.
Get it right, find a way to look past the obvious and see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never...
I love that. That's so wrong. Thank you, Blue Wave Dave, for pointing it out. It's so wrong. Okay, so now let's do some wrongness with the vocals. You see, it's doing the stupidity stuff like that, the silly things that is making this more interesting. Rather than sitting there and spending hours trying to like make the vocal absolutely perfect and take out every single frequency, there's a lot more to it. It's the overall, feel of this thing. I'm really, really enjoying this. Okay, so we got asked a bit about, Clay was just asking us about, pre-delays and all that kind of fun stuff. So what I'm going to do here is create, whoops, wrong one, wrong button. I'm going to create a mono auxiliary. So not stereo, a mono one. And we're going to do a mono delay on the vocal. So I'm going to call this a delay, and I'm just going to send it mono. So let's take 3. And let's go in here. Let's go searching. I think one of the fun ones that people like, and of course we're all a big fan, is there's Echo Boy, which is another Sound Toys. Woohoo! Let's go to Sound Toys, Echo Boy. They're doing well today. Well, everybody is. We're featuring everybody. But okay, so again, actually, no, I'm going to go full mix on this. I'm going to set the tempo, which is 125, and I'm going to go down to a 16th note and see if that's enough. Then I'm going to select a tape, like a really cheap one, like cheap tape. Here you go.
And see the good.
Might help if I took the right input, so it's going to go on bus 3.
And see the good. I tell myself at night.
That's just far too high quality. We don't need that. So let's get rid of the lows, and let's definitely get rid of the highs.
And see the good. I tell myself at night there's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder.
It's all very wrong at the moment. Now let's saturate it.
And see the good. I tell myself at night.
Go to 30-second.
And see the good I tell myself at night. There's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own.
No, it doesn't affect the quality of a mic, Alan. I mean, you need good quality recordings or something that sounds great to be able to manipulate it. I mean, what we decided here is like we were having fun, trying stuff, but now it's just like blending this stuff together.
Would we get it right? Find a way to look past the obvious and see the good I tell myself at night. There's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away. The best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on.
So I think the principle here is like not to be afraid to do some like really, really wrong, weird things, but just have little bits of them. One of the things that I think, thinking of Abbey Road after just using that plugin, one of the things that the lessons of 4-track recording and 8-track recording and even 16 and even 24 compared with where we're at the moment is like when you were bouncing things together, you were introducing so many problems. And the more problems you bounced in together, the more interesting the music sounded because tape had tons of issues. One of it was every single time you played it back, it got duller and duller and duller and duller. And so you'd end up boosting more high end, boosting more high end, boosting more high end. And if any of you have ever heard the multi-tracks, not that I'm saying they're available, but if you ever heard any multi-tracks of some of those Beatles recordings, it's like, I mean, the stuff I did, like on the Andy Palmer this month, people are saying to me it's really hissy. It's like, yeah, it's recorded on a 2-inch tape machine. And I had an assistant think that there was something wrong with the recording because he could hear hiss. I mean, this is where we're at, the wrongness. And Shelley was telling us about how he would print a little bit of reverb on the snare. Printing these effects is really, really good. Okay, so let's get up to our last giveaway. So this is going to be our last giveaway, not only to win Cameron Webb's course, with the Aquabats, with the song Super Rad, not Super Bad as I was calling it, which was recorded incidentally on tape and then transferred for mixing into a DAW. So it's the Aquabats, it's the Cameron Webb course, you can win that, but also you can win a year's membership to the Academy. And if you're already an Academy member, you can get a free course. So what do I want to know? I suppose I want to know with effects, what is your favorite effect? And it can be a reverb, it could be a delay, it could be all kinds of stuff. And we're going to answer Clay's question now by showing how to use, once again, I know we've done it a few times before, but showing how to use ducking on a delay. And I'm going to build it using a really generic delay. So let us know, what is your favorite, what's your go-to effect? Is it reverbs, is it delay? What's the plugin you love most? I'd love to know. Effects for anything, vocals, pianos, is there a go-to? Obviously you see for me, there's a couple I love, but what are your go-to ones? All right, I am now going to create H delay, says Ken. You know what? I'm going to grab an H delay. And I just made an audio because I was talking when I should have made an auxiliary. So this is a stereo auxiliary. Okay, so let's get a delay. And we'll call it delay vocal. slaves, web switch, H delay, little plate, waves doubler, micro shift, Abbey Road verbs, UAD Roland RE20. It's a mic, yes? Roland RE20. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a reverb? Phaser. Phasers are great. EMT 140. Wonderful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab a delay, and we'll grab the H delay because it was just talked about. I think that's a great thing here. I'm going to set it so it's already defaults. It's got an eighth note dotted.
And see the good, I tell myself enough.
We only sent that mono, so let's grab it in stereo.
And see the good, I tell myself enough. There's no way.
So let's get rid of some of the low end and definitely a lot of the high end.
And see the good, I tell myself at night. There's no way it could be fixed, but
how about a tiny amount of modulation?
And see the good, I tell myself at night. There's no way it could be fixed, but I can't help.
I'll really mess you up, Ken. 3 call-outs, but I like that. I like that comment, my friend. Okay, so as you can see, I put a dark delay on there. I got rid of the low end and I got rid of the high end here, so that the high end doesn't. Because one of the things about having delays, if they're too bright and too digital sound, you get you get all these T's and stuff like that. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to grab a compressor, and I think I'm just going to grab the an old favorite, you know me, the R comp. Exactly, and says it's too messy. So this is what we're going to do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the key input. So this is going to show Clay here, and we'll key it from 3. Oh, wrong one. Put it on here. So we're keying it from 3, and every time he sings, the delay is going to duck. So you'll see here, I bring the threshold down and it will actually compress it. And then between him singing, it will turn up. Hence the ducking delay trick. Here we go.
What a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own. What a shame.
Now it's really wrong. I like it, but it's really wrong. And the delay and the modulation messes it up, something chronic, and I love it.
What a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own.
that modulation gets a little crazy. I'm actually gonna take it off. It's a bit insane. Let's have a listen.
Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own. This is the last time my heart sings of you.
Oh, I love what it's doing there. The heart sings of you. Listen to that delay. Hopefully I'm not shouting too much and blowing out your ears, but have a listen. I'm going to step back. Have a listen.
This is the last time my heart sings of you. Or so I am convinced, until I hear the blues. Would we get it right if just for once we learned to put aside all the bitterness and fight for every cent of sweet and fleeting light? I can't help but wonder, am I wrong? Oh yeah, what a shame. We threw it all away, the best advice was ruined by the bad. Oh yeah, what a shame. We never could have known that you and I would be better on our own.
I absolutely love that. So I love where we ended up. I mean, it's definitely less is more. I mean, we've done a lot of very small incremental stuff to make a piano vocal still be intimate, but still be interesting enough. Now, obviously, for an hour and a half, you've heard it over and over again. But sometimes it takes a long time to do not very much. I always call this dressing like a hipster. You know how like the hipsters have that you know, uh, you know, ironic T-shirt that they spent $500 at from a vintage T-shirt shop, but they've got that story of like, hey man, I was just like biking out in the valley at like 7 a.m. and I like saw this guy like selling some stuff at the front of his lawn and it cost 50 cents. But they went to a really expensive store and spent $500 on this ironic 1945, Disneyland T-shirt. But the haircut that looks like they accidentally just woke up with this really cool lopsided haircut that's slightly messy. That to me, all joking aside, that to me is like good mixing. It's spending a long, brilliant, so-and-so said beard. Yes, it's that sort of look. It's like we spend a long time sometimes making it look like we've barely done anything. And that, I'm definitely not a hipster, Devin, definitely not. So hence my bad hair that everybody always comments on. So it sounds like a worldwide hipster, but that's the point. We have to spend a long time making it look like we barely did anything whatsoever. It's these subtle little things that's going to make the mix more interesting, more left of center, Yeah, that's the really, really important thing. Okay, thank you ever so much, everybody that watched. This is really wonderful. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. If you can share it, I'm really enjoying this. We've got a couple more piano vocal songs, and we're going to get to them. Have a marvelous, marvelous... oh, you like my hipster voice? Oh my God, dude. I don't know where I got it from. I have no idea. But I'm just making it up as I go. Have a marvelous, marvelous time. Thank you ever so much for checking everything out. It's really wonderful. So if you're not already an Academy member, please join. Go to producelikeapro.com. Sign up for the Academy there. We do a monthly. We also do a yearly. Eric is actually putting these multi-tracks up. Has he already done it? I'm not sure, but he's putting these multi-tracks up there for all of you that are Academy members. I'll see you inside of there on Friday for a live stream. Very excited. There's a video going up tomorrow. It's a special, the Ed Cherney short video is going to go up just for Academy members where he answers some really, really cool questions. So check that out, Academy members, tomorrow. There's also going to be a long interview with him going up on YouTube. We're going to be doing some more stuff with him. Ed is one of the greatest engineers, producers, and mixers in the world, from working with Michael Jackson and the Stones and everybody. So check that out. Very excited. Thank you, everybody that comes back to continuously to Produce Like a Pro and supports it. It is really, really important to us. Even though I'm a full-time producer, engineer, and mixer myself, this is what I do. I don't have a bedroom behind me with specific lights. I have a lot of gear because this is what I do. And it is really exciting for me to be able to share this with you. But I have to get back to work. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everybody that watched. See you inside of the Academy. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing. And I'll see you all again very soon. Don't forget to download these tracks. Don't forget to enter the competition. Thank you, all of the amazing people like Audient and Lewitt and SonarWorks and Blue Headphones. Who else am I missing out? ProMix Academy, Lancaster Audio. Am I missing anybody else out? Everybody that gave wonderful prizes to the mix competition. Enter the mix competition. Sign up to Rate My Mix. Help each other out. Be supportive. You all rock. I'll speak to you all again very soon.